Welcome back to Permanent Underclass. We've got another killer episode for you. Listen, Clyde, one guy vibe coded an entire YC-backed application by himself in like 6 hours, and they said as soon as he dropped it online, he killed 6 startups immediately. This is the vibe coded replacement for Granola. What is going on with this?
Is this the meeting recorder? Is this the guy that just made his own replacement for every meeting recorder out there?
Yes, this is the open Granola.
No, it's time. This is perfect. Like, there's so much software that should not cost the money that it does, and meeting recordings and just transcriptions of audio into insight generations. I've seen like 6 different software that does this. I'm so glad somebody finally made an open source vibe coded version of it. Here we go. Open Granola, the open source meeting copilot for macOS. It transcribes both sides of your call on device, searches your notes in real time, hands you the talking points right out of the box. This is not software that should cost any money. This is exactly why I love the new vibe coded era. There's no reason why live transcription should be $20 a month. This is such a straightforward application that's going to cost you cents in API tokens every time to do. And this is why I think where we're going, what we're entering, this is an era. Everything is going to be free. Everything is going to be better. Okay, software, you're just going to pay for little API calls to use software like this, and you're just going to pay for the hosting. It's just going to be the compute that you're paying for. The code itself is infinitely reproducible. And what AI has done is not only can you infinitely reproduce code, but now you can infinitely manufacture it from scratch within the vibe coding era, and you can produce it from the 0 to 1 now across the board. Anybody can do this, and that's why I love seeing these new apps come online that are killing all of these useless little $24 a month apps that I should not be paying for. I'm gonna just find the open source version or build it myself. It makes me really happy. This is like the silver lining around this automation boom for sure.
So the thesis is everything will be better and it will be free.
Yes, and you will be happy, and you will own nothing.
It's this interesting dynamic of like, as a company, as a SaaS company, it's like one small misstep and like someone's eating your lunch, right?
Yeah.
But or like someone's commodified what you've built, right? But
Right.
then at the same time, like for the consumer, that's also better because it's like, oh well, now I'm not paying $20 a month for whatever bullshit transcription service. Like it's here, it is open source, plug it in.
Exactly. I mean, it's.
Well, go ahead.
No, I think something's been out of balance for SaaS for a while. Like, I think there's something a little bit economically breaking about like 99% margin, 10-figure revenue businesses. Like, something's not right with that, and I think that's what AI and vibe coding is uncovering. Right? It's just like that's the code itself. It's been held propped up by the barrier of just coding knowledge, and we've completely obliterated that barrier. And now we're back to like a more grounded economic reality around software, where anything that can be vibe coded in a matter of days is going to be free because people can just do this. Yeah.
I saw a good meme. It was like someone was like, "Man, you nerds really fucked up." Like, starting like in the late '90s, you started to like get a lot of clout and like, oh, you can code, and then like you just did such a good job of like perfecting your craft that now like basically the Chads are back in control because
I love it, dude.
Anybody can code. Like
We're so fucking back, man. Fuck
the
these
Chads
nerds.
are back, man. The dumb jocks are back in business.
Says like one lineman to like a Me, yeah.
I want to talk about this is another thing that got built. A Chinese student got $4 million for an AI that simulates how thousands of people react to any event. Now, this is interesting because, like, a lot of the stuff we've seen has been, tools that you can go and use that, maybe it's like a coding IDE or whatever, like, design or whatever it is. But this is more like predictive or trying to like almost predict the wisdom of crowds. Not sure if you saw this one.
I did, yeah. The Miroflow.
Yeah, and let me see if I can actually bring it up.
Miroflow is making waves in China right now. This guy got 4 million for an AI that's actually simulating AI agent swarms. And at the moment, it's in Chinese, but this guy on Twitter, he put it in English as well. And so what Miraflow is actually doing, this is not the right one, man. Is it? I
Oh,
think
did
it's
you
Miro.
also drop a Mirofish?
No, I think it's called Miraflow. It's okay. Um, like I think this might be an iteration of it. That's all right. No, I didn't drop it there. It's all right. Uh,
You want to
yeah.
restart?
Let's restart it. Yeah.
What's your? You want to hook it, or you want me to?
I think I hooked it, but we can hook it again. What did you? Yeah. Okay. I'll hook it again. All right, so people are going crazy in China right now for Mirofish. Have you seen this? It's like this AI agent swarm simulation.
Yeah. This is interesting too because I think most of the stuff out there that like, especially on the show, we've talked about is like kind of like tooling or like IDEs or even like some design stuff. But this is like very predictive almost, right? This is like spinning up 1,000 agents and testing how they would react as if you had like the
Yep,
power of instant crowd simulation, right?
exactly. Yeah, and that's what this AI agent swarm simulation is doing. So Mirofish, it's basically at scale. You can run the simulation of a ton of different actors with maybe slightly different behaviors, and open source you can actually simulate like any events happening to in his view a school of fish. It's called Mirofish. This guy already got $4 million for this in China. Guy, I vibe coded this in 6 hours is the claim. And that the whole thesis the whole thesis being you can't really predict how one actor ever behaves, right? But then once you got you can predict how a swarm goes. So this is essentially focus groups are done. You can simulate at a way bigger scale very real human behaviors using this AI tool of Mirofish. It's a
Right.
brilliant idea. It's a pretty big brain though.
So it's interesting because it says, what Mirofish does, upload any document, a press release. So, if a company wants to upload a press release and simulate how the public would react to it, you can tell a policy draft or an earnings report. So like on the more financial side, like, hey, let's see what it looks like if, they raise the interest rates. Like what can we expect this certain commodity to do, or what can we expect, the S&P to do? It builds a knowledge graph, generates hundreds of AI agents with unique personalities, and simulates their social media reactions in real time. The original was built for Chinese users. Good thing we've got Chinese-speaking Clyde over here to help us navigate the world of Zhongwen and Putonghua.
我很喜欢中文. Yeah.
Bing Chilling. No, okay, we can't keep doing the Bing Chilling
We
joke
can't.
every
I gotta
episode.
learn more Chinese, but yeah.
But yeah, this is really cool. I think this is similar to like what Karpathy came out with a couple weeks ago with like the self-learning
Yeah,
thing.
the auto researcher. Yeah.
Yeah, the auto researcher. I think this is really cool and just a unique way to like plug in even more power. Now, would you be able to wire this up then pretty easily to like an OpenClaw instance? I assume.
Yeah, I mean, you can use OpenClaw as a harness for tools like these. That's what I've been trying out recently. Also, like with auto researcher, that's the beauty of OpenClaw, right? It's like, hey, I want to use this in my projects, right? And it'll just take these latest tools, like, oh, right, yeah, we could totally use that to do this. So you want me to try it out? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then boom, it starts iterating, starts auto researching. Auto research, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I didn't fully understand the genius of it until recently. Like, like? I think I can explain it better now. So, I mean,
I would love to hear. Yeah.
right? Like, it's 360 lines of code. Like, it's just like a one program that Karpathy comes out with, and the idea is simple. How do you use AI to iteratively improve things? But in the past, what you've done, let's take, for example, like, you know, you got a bakery and it's got like certain parameters okay, if we stock 30 croissants and on Wednesday afternoons like we're running out of croissants but we have a bunch of almond cookies left over. In the past, what a lot of different systems and automation tooling around iteratively improving business processes, the way they function is kind of just sort of randomly tweaking little parameters and seeing what happens. But what auto research is an AI in the loop to strategically tweak parameters based off of a broader context of the entire LLM. So it's actually using its wisdom and intelligence as an AI model to make targeted tweaks to your system to have the next iteration not just be some random new set of parameters, but actually an AI sort of reasoning driven improvement to be made to the next one. So it's like accelerating the improvement of your systems and iterations by having AI in the loop as opposed to just like some new random configuration and testing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like,
It's definitely still like too big brained for me, but in principle, I kind of understand this like self iteration and like you have to almost like give it a North Star and an outcome for like what actually is good or what direction do we actually want to go in. The other detail that I saw about it was like you have to run it on an NVIDIA chip, right? Was that true? Is that a real thing?
you don't have to run it on an NVIDIA chip. Auto Researcher is just like, it's literally it's one program. It's like 350 lines of code. It's like a
Oh,
super simple idea. Yeah.
I don't know why I
Um,
saw that. I thought somebody was like, "Yeah, this is great, but you need an NVIDIA chip to run this," and I was like,
I don't remember seeing that. No, no, it's like such a simple, brilliant program. And that's like the more all of the best shit that's coming out of this era of software right now, it's like the simpler, the better, really. With it, you can get such brilliant stuff with just
dude,
like,
that's exactly how I feel about OpenClaw. Like once it clicked, and I was like, "Oh, it's just Markdown files." Like
right.
now, there's some jankiness with like trying to like know when to access which file and not like overloading context, but like skills it's so beautiful. Like I could create a Markdown file right now. Like listen, if you're out there and you're not skilled at anything, you could ask your AI to do the research to build the skill and then actually build the skill and then put that skill in your workflow. And then all of a sudden, like you're like, oh, I've got like a great like YouTube analytics analyst on my team that can go and audit my YouTube channel every week and figure out what we need to do to change the titles or like what does our strategy need to be when we're actually recording the episodes. Like this is stuff that like, you know, I'm not an expert at, but I can like do enough research with like the tools that are just within reach that used to take hours or days or, you know, I would just never even do it. And then you can build these skills out that are just like incredible with an incredible amount of depth and detail that you could never do before. And then you just invoke it and it's like, it's just done, right?
Right.
It's incredible. So I love OpenClaw. I think it's, you know, it's what animated me to like really get into the AI stuff.
Same. Well, people are the claim, and I agree with your highlight of Markdown files here. I think this is the magic of this era. What I'm seeing now is like, oh, agents are dead. Like the best agent is just a Markdown file calling API, making API calls, and that's more or less what OpenClaw is, right? Like it's just 5 Markdown files. It's a harness that you're using to make structured and context driven queries to these API models. I think it's so smart though. And now we're in this new era of it's not AI engineering, it's not what's the best model, it's what's the best harness. So we're in the harness engineering paradigm, like which is kind of blowing my mind because you can have ChatGPT 4.0 like outperform some of the latest models if you are giving it the right harness and context in which to perform. It's like
Right.
so much less to do with like how many parameters in the model. It's more like, are you giving it the right information and instructions in the right format?
Yeah.
And then boom, you can have this killer output.
The one thing that it does, and on skills, we've got a nice segue to kind of like our last note to wrap up the episode here. But the one thing that I thought was interesting, or I think is interesting, and I'm curious to get your feedback on this. There's one thing I'm always curious about whenever I'm building automations with OpenClaw, and there's always this like black box of what context is actually in the hopper right now.
Right. Yeah.
And have you like dealt with this or like had any way to like get insight into this, or is it just like a black box forever, basically?
I mean, sometimes it'll sneak little compacts out of nowhere, right? And then and you lose context. One little trick is you can have it kind of include like a loading bar on its context, and then you can sort of keep track of different sessions more easily by having it include where it's at in terms of its context window in the responses. That's semi-effective, but I think you got something else in mind. What have you been looking at?
Oh, I don't actually have something
Oh,
in mind.
I
I wish I did. I wish I did. I wish
thought
I
you were
did.
setting something up. No, yeah, I like sometimes you can add rules to like have smarter context management and like maintain more continuity in certain sessions. But yeah, like this, it's really sneaky with these memories, and then sometimes it's not like OpenClaw is not actually recording the right memories to your memory MD file, right? And it's like, and then boom, context gets lost. and you got to restart sessions. It's pretty frustrating for sure. What I find is, at least by using the Discord interface, right, and you have these different rooms, you can always go back and hit a quick, click and drag, highlight, copy, paste a new session. Hey, we were just doing this. Like, get back in the picture, and that can work.
So one of the things that I've done now is I have a write up on this. I will have it has client or like project. Because first I broke things down by client, and now I need to break things down by project, because if you start having multiple projects in one client, it's like getting crazy. But I broke it down by client and project, and then when it like loads memory, it automatically reads the last 30 messages in that Discord channel plus the client file. So the client file, anytime it compresses, gets updated to like what the fuck's going on with this client, like high level, what's new, what are our pain points, blah, blah, blah. And the last 30 messages of the Discord chat, or whatever it is, maybe 15, 30 or whatever. And so even when it does like a compaction or like starts a new session, like it isn't completely lost on like what the fuck's going on,
Right.
So nice, anyway, man. Some of the jangling that I've done, but nothing's perfect, right?
Smart jangling, man. Very smart jangling.
Very smart jangling. You want to give us the lead on this one? Smart jangling.
I love a good jangle, dude. I love a jingle them. So this article went huge on X this week. It was from Anthropic's Tarek himself, and it was just about how is Anthropic actually using Claude skills internally. Luckily, I feel like I've mostly been following this, but the basics is the number one use case is like, how do you actually inform an LLM and using a proper API or in using an SDK and accessing a library? So the best skills are actually just instructions for how to use more complex systems like CLIs and SDKs. Another solid use is like verification with clear parameters. That's another thing with AI. Like you have to give it such specific kind of win conditions. Like when is this an actual positive flow? And if you structure that properly, you can do things like product verification, good data analysis. Of course, multi-tool workflows into one command. That's a lot of what you and I are getting up to. This is a huge usage of skills right now. Infrastructure ops. My agents are killer DevOps managers. I do everything directly on VPSs, right? So then I can just make the changes in the chat with my agents, and boom, the code is live on the website, right? And for the most part, I think this is more or less how we've been approaching skills. But if you don't have a good understanding of what Claude skills can really do at this point, look at this article from Anthropic themselves. This is who and how the manufacturers are actually making use of this new paradigm of markdown files, making API calls to do real life useful things. I think this article is just packed with value. It's really good.
Yeah. I think making skills right now is like the most obvious picks and shovels sort of business out there. I mean, a lot of them are being open sourced, right? But like there was like an early skill, like a presentation skill. You just like whatever context it has, you say make a presentation. It's making like these beautiful, like liquid flowing HTML presentations, right? So like, this is the end of PowerPoint. PowerPoint's dead because like there's HTML presentations, but it's just like amazing, like, oh man, I just plug in anything and it's just like now my presentations look way more professional than ever before, and I'm not even opening up like Google Presentation or anything.
Can you send me that one? I haven't seen that. I gotta use that, man.
No, I'm keeping it to myself. I don't want you to see it.
Bro, are you gonna lease it out to me?
I'm claw keeping.
You are claw keeping, dude. It's a big old claws.
Claw keeping. All right. Before we wrap this up, I did think, I don't want to break this into 3 episodes. That's too long. Wait, I need to get out of here. And I do want to read that episode or that article. So thank you for that, because I didn't know that and I need to read through that. So let me bookmark that.
It's a banger for sure.
Oh fuck! I bookmarked him just saying Okay. One last thing. Do you want to pick one of these? I thought, fuck these ones. Between these two, I feel like the Pokemon Go one is interesting. Have you seen this?
Yeah, but it's been. Oh, I didn't know they made it like into an AI thing. Whoa.
No. Apparently, the company that made it they sold the data of people walking around with their phone. They sold that data to train. This has been a thing?
A little bit, but I don't. Wait, they sold it to train what? Because I saw this go
Maybe
viral,
this
but
is
I
old
know
news.
that they were selling this to like map services for a while. Oh, they're actually for delivery robots, dude. Wow. Okay.
I don't know. If it's old news, then we don't have to cover
No,
it. We can
it's
just
no,
wrap
it's
it.
not. It went huge this week. Like people don't know about it. It's not old news to most people, but I thought this was like old news when it like, got big this week, and I was like, why the fuck are we talking about this now? But I didn't realize the robotics link. That's probably why it's going big again because they actually made like some big sale to a robotics company. Do you want to do it from the top?
Yeah, let me get it back in the hopper. Fuck. Hold on, sorry. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. One last note before we go. I thought this was an interesting one. Have you ever played Pokemon Go? Because if you have, you might have been unbeknowingly training AI models of maps around the city to help robotic delivery drivers. In fact, we just found out this week that there's a company that bought the training data from all the Pokemon Go players that trained 30 billion image AI map. Niantic is it called? Says photos and
Yep.
scans collected through Pokemon Go and its AR apps have produced a massive data set of more than 30 billion real world images. So anytime you were going around and on your phone you saw the little, like, what do they call that, AR or augmented reality, like, Pokemon. Actually, the data that mattered was where you were at, what your accelerometer in your phone said, and the actual like footage without the Pokemon in it was way more valuable.
It's so smart, man. It's so smart that they got people to willingly and gamified the farming of a $3.5 billion worth data set. No, I'm sorry, that's not what it says. But of like a at least multi-million-dollar data set was farmed for them for free by Pokemon Go users worldwide. And what's awesome about this is like everybody plays Pokemon Go, dude. I have like my great uncle loves Pokemon Go. Like you'll meet like 60-year-olds, like proper boomers that never played Pokemon that love this game. So they just really hit this jackpot of like, okay, we're gonna make this gold mine of a data set, and we're gonna get people to actually pay money to build this for us because they're like buying the little in game, as like the aesthetic improvements and
Yep.
like
Yeah.
little bits. It's the best business model ever. It's so sick.
It's crazy, and it reminds me of like, I don't know if you knew this or not, but CAPTCHA, like, you know what a CAPTCHA is, right?
Right.
Remember back in the day, most of the CAPTCHAs were like, oh, here's like 6 words in a book. Like, can you please go and type them to make sure you're like a real human? That was the front side of the product. The back side of the product was literally transcribing books. Like that was
Oh
the
my
service.
gosh.
Yeah,
No
it was
way.
genius. It was genius. So,
Wow.
actually, a Pittsburgher, Louis Von Ahn was the guy that invented CAPTCHA. Carnegie Mellon, big shout out.
Shout out Pittsburgh.
And he's the founder of Duolingo, if you're familiar with that company. So,
Of course. Whoa. Holy shit.
yeah. So, all right. That's it. Clyde from New York this week. We were happy to have you. I'll be seeing you in person next week. Should we try and do something in person?
Let's do an in-person episode Wednesday night at the Limitless Prediction Markets event.
All right. We'll do 45 minutes in a crowded pub.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be sick, man.
Sick.
All right. Well, appreciate you talking to me today. And for Clyde, on behalf of Clyde, wherever he is in the world, today he's in New York. Next week, he'll be back in Hong Kong. I am in Pittsburgh. I am Evan. And we are here to represent the permanent underclass. You're not always cooked when you listen to the permanent underclass. You can, by the way, listen to us on anywhere that you like to listen to podcasts. Well, actually, only 2 places that you like to listen to podcasts, Spotify and Apple. If you don't like seeing our ugly mugs the entire time, you can just listen to our beautiful voices, the sounds of our smooth voices. And that's it. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hell yeah.
All right.
Oh, dude, I'm so fucking tired.